when you walk into a room and it feels different, feels uncomfortable. My agent hasn't spoken to me. Coach Rassi hasn't spoken to me. I haven't had a message or anything from Chala as well.
Yes.
So I was like, no man, this can't be true.
And Sis, are you a crier? You look like a crier.
Yes, I get geil.
Okay. Welcome back to your number one rugby podcast. This is Behind the Ruck and we are at episode 68 and we are proudly supported by SuperSportBet. Guys, today we have one of the biggest stars, the most important stars in rugby on your number one rugby podcast. Before we get there, I want to introduce myself. I am your co-host. I am the one, the only, the short one, the round one. I am none other than Rudy Pace next to me. I've got my partner in crime.
Juan de Jong in the building. Hey, woo, you excited, eh?
Partner, I'm like a volcano. I want to explode.
I see.
Sorry, Ruckus, I got out of my chair.
Slow down. Your seatbelt is not on. You excited, eh? I'm also excited, eh? Big episode coming up. But how are you doing? You good?
Partner, I'm obviously fantastic. It's almost the end of the autumn series. The Springboks are almost back. We got one more week to go before the Bokke are playing. The squad is out. Boland under 21 Cavaliers won the trophy. We have a magnificent, the ultimate, the Power Ranger. I don't want to give anything away, but today is going to be electrifying.
Electrifying indeed, yeah. And I like that, books. Eh? Final, huh? You like that, eh?
How are you, sir?
No, brilliant if you ask me. Like you just said, now I'm in that same boat, eh? Now, incredible, eh? Fantastic weekend, obviously. Boland under 21, we champion. Ole, ole, ole. Now, credit to the boys, fantastic hard work that's been put in by the youngsters. I mean, playing 100 minutes in the final, you know, character was shown. But it's fantastic to see what the boys have built and finally lifting that thing that they wanted so bad.
And Ruckus, just for context purposes, my partner, head coach of the under 21 team from Boland, they won the final. 52-all, and that is why he's a little bit more grey. He looks a little bit more older today because coaching ain't for the faint-hearted.
It is not.
But Boyke, rewarding. How did it feel afterwards for you?
It was. I mean, that final was when the final was to grow. Obviously, 100 minutes is something that shows character for the boys to bite the bullet, and we obviously got there with scoring 7 tries, and they've got 6 tries, but. A lot of hard work, and credit must go to the boys. Not only the boys as well, the management, everyone that helped us throughout this whole campaign, making sure that we're successful when it came to that final minutes and moments.
And did you celebrate accordingly, Paddy?
Huh?
Did you celebrate accordingly?
Yes.
Or were you like Franco?
Same like Franco, whiskey and cigars. You know what it is.
That's all good. Ruckus, before we get this episode kicked off, I want to make a special mention to our sponsors. As we know, Behind the Ruck is supported by SuperSportBet, and then also one of our favorite and most exciting new partners on the block with Behind the Ruck, Ticket Pro. For all your ticket needs, go to their website and make sure you get to the games, to the concert, whatever they have on there. That is the only platform for you.
Yes. And we straight into the lineup.
Yes, come on.
Guys, the lineup is not nice and easy. It's a big lineup because it's a big star. Okay, listen up. Okay, first of all, we got Cheslin Kolbe off the left foot. Okay, after the left foot, we got the right foot of Cheslin Kolbe again. Okay, then when we get into the deeper things of things, we got Cheslin Kolbe with the rugby jersey over his head. Okay, and then after that, once we slow it down, we got Cheslin Kolbe with the charge down on the Frenchies. Okay, so stay tuned. Big star in the house. We can't believe it. We've been waiting. For how many episodes? 66 episodes we've been waiting. 67 episodes. Eh? It finally is in the building. In the building.
Ruckus, you guys know me, partner. I use big deal a lot, but this one I want to say it's a bigger deal.
Okay.
It's a biggest deal. Probably the best rugby player in the world currently.
100%.
One of the top 3 in my point of view.
Repost, retweet.
On Behind the Ruck, okay? So let's settle down. Let's put on our seatbelts and let's get ready for liftoff on the Behind the Ruck flight.
Ooh, let's get there. Don't waste time, man. Up next, Cheslin Kolbe.
Let's go.
Paisy, it's Kolbe. It's Cheslin Kolbe. It's Cheslin Kolbe. It's Cheslin Kolbe.
rugby.
Finally is in the
Kaapse
building.
Klopse is ready, so.
Come on, boykie.
But how are you doing? How's things, Jesse?
Nah, good. Yes, finally, good to be back on the show.
Yes. It's
Obviously,
been a while.
been following you guys with everybody that's been on, but good to be back in Cape Town, back home, and just good to see two legends of the
Yeah.
game,
Oh,
and
it's been a
now
while,
guys
it's been a
just getting other guys to express the way they.
No, he's calling us legends, but he's the
As-
goat. He's the
yes,
goat.
see.
We the legends and he's the goat. Okay.
Ruckers, we got the ultimate Power Ranger
Yes.
on the show today.
Finally.
The red Power Ranger, remember? Jason
Yeah.
was the middle one.
It's morphin time stuff.
Yeah, bruh.
How's the holiday been? How's the body feeling? Obviously, we on social media. Mauritius with the boys. No invite. We got no invite. How's the body feeling and how was the holiday and stuff?
We speak to Eben for that invite.
Oh,
Nah,
okay,
but holiday was really good. Yes, it's been quite a tough season. Obviously being in Japan and then coming back Springboks with the games we had, Ireland incoming. So the past couple of months has been quite hectic, but just glad to get like a 2-3 week break because I never had a break like this when
Yeah.
I was in France. Whenever I had to come international, once the season's done, at international, you fly straight to the French. You know the clubs get down
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
Want
yeah,
flights.
yeah. They want all of
their
it.
They
pound
want
flights.
you work for your money down there. But then, obviously, my first time getting a 2-3 week break in the middle of a season, and obviously with Japan, they've been very accommodating in that sense. So, but yeah, family time was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Got to visit Mauritius for the first time with the kids. That was quite interesting. And then myself and the missus went down to France.
So that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Obviously, Joe Tukuri's wife passed away, so we couldn't go to the funeral. So we just wanted to pay our respects to the family, and then obviously went to Toulouse and Toulon where I played my trade over there. Good to see everyone. I wasn't sure how the welcome was going to be after the World Cup.
Fair enough. And how was
The
it?
damage you've done.
And how was it? How was the welcome, Jesse?
It was interesting because we flew into Turkey or Istanbul and then left from Istanbul obviously to Toulouse. So from Istanbul to go to Toulouse, obviously there'll be a lot of French people on the plane, and myself and the wife sat down, and as everybody entered, you could just feel everybody looking and staring at you.
Yeah.
So even guys like
And
taking...
they can't hide it.
Yeah.
Nah, they make it known that
Yeah.
they are looking. There was even a guy standing behind his girlfriend and like taking a photo and like went on Google, is it really this guy? Because they probably didn't expect us to come back after the World Cup with everything that happened. But it's been good welcome.
And with the players as well, the Toulouse players and Toulon players. And the
Yeah,
French-
no, I spoke a lot. Well, when I got to the Toulouse, I walked into Antoine first.
To
And-
Pont.
Yeah, the man of French rugby. But what a guy. I obviously know him for quite a bit playing with him. But yeah, he's still the same guy. Chatted to him quite a bit. So Tom Ramos, Peter Aki, them all. So was good. The reception
And
was-
Jesse, je parle français? Bien?
T'es
Non?
pas, c'est comme ça.
C'est comme ça.
50-50.
Oui, c'est
Ouais.
moi. C'est moi. Non. Non, en français. Anglais, s'il vous plaît.
C'est français un petit peu, pas beaucoup. C'est difficile, hein? Ouais.
Okay, merci.
Praat van jou.
Merci.
Jesse, but what does a break look like for you? World superstar, and I'm just saying, do you actually have a break? A superstar, we call it what it is on Behind the Ruck, Jesse. We give flowers where flowers is due.
Yes, we've been waiting too
You
long.
understand? So did you finally have a switch off? Because the championship was at this competing level. The Irish Test Series was this competing level. Did you really take a Husa break?
No, I did. I definitely did the past 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And I can feel it today as I'm sitting here because we're currently in
A little pre-season.
in a small pre-season with the Japanese-based boys. Did train a bit during the time that I had off, but not as what I'm supposed to. But I wanted to just mentally refresh, and hopefully when I got back into the camp we're in now, then I can start from over and get back into the swing.
And do you switch off the TV then? No rugby?
No, I still watch rugby.
You still watch?
No,
Okay.
I can't go away from rugby and behind the ruck. You have to stay in tune. You have to stay what's going
happening
on in South Africa.
I like it.
Because you get face him again.
Exactly.
And yeah, the team was announced obviously last week, the end of your squad. Excited to be back. Obviously, at that level, 2 Rugby World Cups, you're not? Yeah, you're waiting for the WhatsApp or not?
Back to back.
You're looking at your phone all the time. Yeah, you never know.
Do you still get nervous, Jesse?
Yes, all the time. Training camps, games. You never know if you're in the team or not because there's so much players that has the talent that can do what you do on the field as well. And for me, especially with the young guys coming in, obviously gives you a lot of energy. You learn from them and you can give them advice how to do things and what to expect. But with the talent we have in this country, there is no ways you can sit down and you can't be ahead of your game because it's just like this in somebody else's.
Yeah. And like there's obviously wingers coming through, okay? There's a Power Ranger on the one side, Power Ranger on the other side. And you're speaking about new wingers coming through. How exciting is to see there's another Power Ranger, Ethel van der Merwe, coming through. And these youngsters just keep on pushing.
No, Edas has been coming a long time, obviously.
Yeah, from the
watched him since Paul Roos, Craven Week, and then joining us at Western Province and Stormers. And just to see his journey and the way he had to go around to get that call up to the Springbok team it's great because it just shows you that he's never given up on the dream and the goal. And to see him play his first test and the way he's performed, scoring on debut and the way he scored, sidestepping, beating defenders, it's crazy to see the talent South Africa has and the Springbok has. Like we can fill 2-3 teams with various guys, and there's no team that's better than the other team. Whichever team goes out there, they can fulfill and do the job on weekends. So, yeah, really excited and just good to see the Power Rangers still continuing that legacy.
The Power Rangers, the OGs.
Gio started at the Stormers. So,
Jesse, I always knew I did something wrong in my career.
Yeah, I was going to
I knew I did something wrong in my career. It wasn't the Stormers. It was the damn scrum cap. Should have put on a scrum cap, Ruckers, and I've done it. Okay?
It's not too late. You can still blow a ref.
Put on your seatbelt, okay? Put on your seatbelt. This guy. You see what I got to deal with every week?
I think he's referring to the incident what happened on Newlands.
I don't know.
Now there is a referee. Maybe
low. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Nothing wrong with that. Oh my gosh. But boys, let's talk about the year the Springboks has had. Jesse, first of all, I want to ask you, how does your body, how do you do it? Like, I told him the one game, I was like, damn it, like, you are so abrasive in contact. Like, you don't shy away from it. Every week, you constantly edit, like, chasing lost causes, fighting in contact for this bit. I'm like, how do you do it, like, from a body point of view, Boyki?
Yes, I think if I'm going to shy away, they're going to target me because obviously I'm not one of the biggest guys out on the field, and maybe a few years back, they would see that as a target. And for me is to embrace it. I like the physical part of the game because that's where you can also put your foot down and establish you as a rugby player, not being the small guy doesn't want to be involved into the contact things. I like it, I enjoy it, and yes, it's tough, but I think the more you get conditioned from like camps, training throughout the week, the more you're used to your body gets to the impact. Every game differs. Playing, example, New Zealand, Ireland, yes, it takes you 2-3 days to like feel yourself before you have to play on Saturday again. So the turnaround is quite short, but it's nice when you win a game. Because then it's that pain, it's enjoyment.
Yeah, it's worth it.
It's worth it. But if you're not on the winning side,
it's a bit tough.
And you're worried about the meeting the Monday, your body's so...
It's a lot to take.
So, I'm enjoying myself. I think 2 years ago, I had a stint of injuries, which was quite frustrating. And I didn't understand why and why me. But looking back at it now, it's actually, I think, hopefully prolonged my career. Because I got time to like refresh and recover and do a bit of physical and what do you call it, physio work with the SNC team to get up to par again. So yeah,
it's always
feeling
positive.
it. I'm also not. I'm 30.
Hey, 30 club, yeah. Welcome to the boys.
That's 8 more years.
Yes.
Rack is 8
Okay,
more years.
I'll give it another 10.
That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear.
And Cheslin, how do you prepare yourself? Obviously, you just said now you're one of the smallest guys when it comes to rugby. But the power you have, the explosive power you have, do you work on it? How do you go to prep throughout the week? And also the stuff that people, obviously when you're smaller, the high balls and the kicking game, etc., etc. What is your game plan when it comes to preparation for big games? And what do you focus on, especially to is it the doubters? Just to prove the doubters a bit wrong.
Now, obviously, every player has a building blocks that they focus on throughout the week. And for me, I need to make sure that I not tick them off, but do them accurately. And because that gives me confidence. As I said, I'm not the bigger guy on the field. So I need to put in more work in the gym just to be on par with guys that are weighing 100, 120 kgs. So that I'm not left behind and not like don't have strength or anything. So yeah, just for me, I'm a guy that focus on detail and I try and get detail through early in the week. And then by the end of the week, when it comes closer to the test match, it's just about sharpening up the little things, the high balls, tackling, one-on-one opportunities. I'm big on visualizing as well throughout the week. If there is opportunities or whatever the opportunity presents on the game day, that I put myself in situations or positions that if a defender cover defends, what speed is going at, what my reaction would be. So I'm quite big on visualizing and playing the game throughout the week and not just on weekends. And then obviously analyzing is a big part because you get to know what another player's strength is, what he might not be good at. And that gives you a bit of an advantage because you need to be prepared whenever you go out on that field. But yeah, it's just also learning new skills, which is a big part because in this game, your first 2, maybe 3 years at professional, you can get away with small things. But the more you get into it, the more people analyze you, the more people know what you can do. So you need to be more creative. You need to give more than what you could do 3 or 4, 5 years ago.
No one can analyze that step.
That's lelijk. You guys the Stormers had a middle scrum where he took the ball. It gave me nightmares every time.
Yes, come to think of it, I was in France now because I tried presenting this move to lose at the time. Yes, but the guys just couldn't. And the coach asked me again now, what's the name of that move? And I was like, yes, I actually can't get to the name of it.
That thing gave me,
but that
thing gave me nightmares.
The ding is iets anders geweest.
He took the ball and he came across and I'm like, I can't sit on the thingy. I have to go with him. But then he can beat me on outside or he can bounce off the left foot. Stuff.
Or that guy comes on a switch.
No, I wasn't worried about it.
You actually scored a try like that. When was it? 2012?
2012, yeah.
Try, Gangnam Style.
That used to irritate me. You see that dancing behind the poles.
That's why my lower back is tight now.
Yeah. So see, a quick question. Let's say your physical training. Do you focus more on strength work? Making sure that you lifting or how would you do your strength training early in the week?
And how do you run over forwards? That's what we're going to know as well.
Focus.
Yeah, obviously strength is a big part, but I'm more focused on explosive work than just strength because for me, I don't want to get heavier than what I am because then I won't be able to do what I do.
Yeah, your DNA, your core
on
stuff.
the field. So yes, strength maybe Monday, Tuesdays, and then with that, explosive is my number one thing that I go to because that's what people know me for. That's what I think or hope is my point of difference every now and then. So I need to keep working on that. At bouncing people, yes, man, I surprise myself every now and then. I think because people tend to know that you're going to sidestep most of the time.
Yeah.
So you just have to shock them every now and then and hope for the best. I've came off worst a lot of times.
These mans.
But no, like obviously strength is a big part of it because you need power to perform at this level, and especially week in and week out. So yeah, that is a big part, but I'm more on explosive speed work, agility.
And partner is talking about taking players on a little bit. Hopefully I'm not wrong in my assumption, but it looks like there's a fire competitor in you, Chessy. When I watch you play, when we played against each other, like you love competing.
And the consistency.
Yeah, it looks like an absolute thing. You want to be in the arena. You want to be up against the guy. Come me so like that type of energy. Am I right when I read you like that?
You're definitely right. And I actually told somebody the other day, they always ask me, how do you do it? You're so small, like when they see me on TV, they see, okay, like a big, but when they see me in person, they're like, yeah, man,
I can run over you.
And I'm like, for me, it's the same, like, warm up, or when you see guys on socials or whatever, you're like, yes, this guy's actually a unit. But when you go out for warm up before the game and you look at the opposition, you're like, yes, okay, he's not also paar maniere. But once that whistle goes, like, I see eye to eye with whoever's the biggest guy on the field, and that's how I look at it. And not being the biggest one, you can prove a point and show that you don't have to be this big or you have to weigh this amount.
Find different ways to
find different ways to beat guys, and you bump every now and then.
You get lucky.
It's not going to be my number one choice that I have to go into.
And stepping as well, because in my opinion, the best step in the world.
Yep.
Okay, left and right and goosey. It's going to be humble.
That's why I hope picky.
Yeah, because some guys can only go left and some guys can only go right. Do you work on it? Is it the blessings from above? And when you're in that situation, when is the goosey? When is the stepping? And you the one of, they say stepping in a phone booth. Huh? Not a lot of people can be in your face and do that thing. You can do it. What is your mindset? What do you think when you have that ball and you see someone in front of you?
I've definitely been blessed with it. And obviously a lot of it comes from playing touches in the road. From a young age. Kaal voete. Jy worry oor niks, die voete bloei, jy hardloop.
In die teer,
lekker. Yes, but I have to do it now. But I think that's where I learned the skill. Just obviously at a young age, you don't know what you're doing. You're trying something and it's working, and you learn it on the way you grow older. But playing at the professional and international level, it's split-second decisions you have to make. And it's all about reading the body language of the defenders.
Yes.
And sometimes, yes, I also do things and I watch the clips afterwards or people that tag you and I'm like, yes, I actually don't know how I managed to get that done in such a quick time and get away with it. But I think you would know as well. You're a stepper yourself. And
no. So don't give me 1 hour courtesy, Chessy. Don't do it. It's fine.
But like most of the thing out of stepping is a score. Yeah. It's your hips. That's the most important thing. We
exactly.
It's
a twist in the body as long as this is still, because a lot of people will look at the upper body and don't look at the lower body.
But boys, let me ask you this question now. You're talking about, is it something you guys think about, or is that thing all happening with out of body experience type of vibe?
A lot of the time, you work at defender what you want to do.
Yeah.
So sometimes when the defender's in the inside and you move across, you know he's there at the end of the day. Yeah. So you hypnotize him to go to one way, and then you have to be aggressive on the other side coming back. Because if you're not stepping in underneath you don't have the power. Because a lot of the time,
explosive to get out 100%.
of it. And once you step, it's about driving that shoulder. Okay.
A trick with a sidestep, and like a lot of guys come to you, they're like, "How would you defend a stepper?" You just stay in the same channel. The worst thing is if he gooses you, you're going to have to chase. But if he steps, he's only going to go in the same space. If you look at it carefully.
Okay, guys, we're going to cut that out. Don't give blueprints away. New Zealand is watching.
No, they're not getting anything.
It's veel te begin in mind.
I like it.
Let's talk about current Springbok setup. What is the vibe like in the camp? Because you've obviously watched the social media and you've seen, we've set best era ever. What is the vibe like in the squad? I mean, there's new couple of faces when it comes to coaches as well, players as well, guys stepping in, new captains here and there. What is the vibe like in the prep and stuff going?
it's an environment I honestly can say you want to be involved in. Just what they created from a culture point of view. Like the nice thing, one thing that stands out for me is 2019 World Cup final.
Yes.
The talk of the coach, of Coach Rassi then, wasn't about the game plan, wasn't about what we need to do. He literally highlighted each and every player, went so far back where they come from, what they went through, what school they went to. And that was his talk. And I wasn't part in 2018. I only joined later after they started their alignment camps in, May, June. And his thing was getting the right people and also minding where each and everyone comes from. And we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different cultures. And to get that to work together, you need to have the right people. You need to have people that's willing to work together, that wants South Africa to be a better place, not just as Springboks, not just you as an individual. And whenever I'm gone for club duty, whether it's Japan, when I was in France, like you just want to come back to this because it's a family.
There's a piece of belonging.
It's a brotherhood, not just on the rugby field, but off the field as well. Like a lot of the guys do so much off the field. And when you get to the field, like you know so much more about each other from a personal perspective and from a rugby perspective. And that definitely was drilled in and brought up through the management coach, Rassi, Coach Chalk, since 2018, since they took over. They just created this environment where you want to be involved, you want to give back to this jersey, this country. And honestly, for me, I've been part of a few teams, and like just the way they think of it, the way they mind each other, the way the coach speaks to players, that relationship is unbelievable. Because sometimes you find where players are scared to speak to a coach because
they don't know what the response will be.
You don't know what the response is going to be. But there it's open. But when it's work, it's work. When it's serious, it's serious. There is fun times, and the coaches, the management will allocate certain times every now and then when we can do X, Y, Z. But most of the time it's honest, it's respectful, and it's straight up.
Yes, that's good balance, yeah.
That's fantastic.
On the other question, like the coaches itself, like Coach Rassi, Coach Chalk, that's been there since 2018. Coach Stoker, Dion, and now you got Cherry, you got Tony coming in as well. Obviously, when we had Felix was unbelievable. He meant so much to this team. He's brought so much in, and the amount of hours he's worked and giving feedback to players. But now you got Coach Cherry and Coach Tony, a different philosophy, but sees the game the same as what, say, for example, Coach Felix saw it. So there's nothing new to us. It's just another voice. He might do something or see something differently, but the end goal is still the same, what we used to since 2018. With Coach Tony, yes, obviously,
unbelievable.
from New Zealand, coached in Japan, next level. Unbelievable. Like his thinking of the game, the space he sees, how he creates space through attack or breakdown. I haven't seen something like that.
So you've seen the episode he was on?
I have seen it.
Yep.
Yeah, you got to check the coaches.
And Cheslin,
Get some brownie points there.
Brownie points.
Nice. Yeah. Cheslin, and you guys, you mentioned 2018. It's basically the core of the current Springbok group. What has it been like for you guys to achieve so much together? And obviously, Eben becoming the most kept Springbok, winning back-to-back Rugby World Cups, your relationships amongst each other. As this, let's say, 8 years that you guys are almost together?
8 years together now.
What has that been like for you? You guys are probably like brothers right now, more than friends and teammates.
I think more family than brothers. Like I think most of our families, because all of us have kids now as well, which makes it nice, and kids get you even closer to other families, and with that, everybody's more together. Everybody's doing things together. That's how Mauritius came up. We wanted to have our families included, and we included most of the players, but obviously guys had club commitments. We had a bit of off time, so we could have done a few things together. But if you look at it since 2018, the core group from then up until now, and as guys, the most important thing, and I'm sure you guys will know as well, is once you achieve so much, egos can become a problem.
Yes,
and that's the nice thing for me about this group. There is no egos at all. Doesn't matter who you are, what you achieved. Everybody's the same, and the coaches, management makes that known.
So team first at all times.
At all
no
times.
egos, yeah.
No egos.
And for you as well, I mean, you became a Springbok, but also in the conditions that you didn't want it to, because you were in South Africa and you don't want to leave, and you went to France to make yourself a name. When you got that call up to be part of this special group you just speak about there, what was it like for you, your family, and everyone that kind of just pushed you and supported you in a way?
Yeah, it was obviously tough leaving South Africa, and I was hoping to get a test cap or hopefully a shot way earlier. But you know, God works in different ways, and He has a plan for each and every one of us. Obviously, I started a family as well, and for me at that time was making sure that I can look after them because they followed me so far. So I need to give back to them and make sure that they'll be looked after. And going to France, yes, was challenging. Don't know anyone, can't speak the language.
Everyone says it's tough
It's
at
tough,
France to
Wiki.
start it off.
I had a 4-month-old baby, left all our family here. It's just the 3 of us. And we rocked up and we looked at each other because I can remember we went to get some groceries and stuff. You can't make out a word what's standing there. Wife just broke up into tears, and I called one of the boys. I was like, listen, you're going to have to come and help me here, please.
I need you.
I don't know what's milk. I don't know what's bread. Yeah, what's the good one to get. And I think what helped us quite a lot is because we wanted to go there and learn and embrace a new culture as well. I think what a lot of players struggle with is when they go overseas, especially France, the language barrier is the first point of difficulty, and they don't go there with an open mind.
Yeah.
If you're not going to go with that, then
you gotta make an effort.
it's going to become quite tough. 2 months can become a year can become 5 years.
Can't compare everything.
Yeah, you can't compare.
can't.
And you have to just get out of your bubble, mix with the French guys, learn the language, just put in the effort because that's how they'll open up to you.
Yep.
And I think once you start learning the language, the more respect you'll get from him, and the more they're willing to help you. And I must have went to the best club in France. I couldn't ask for a better place. I'm a family man, and wherever I like to find and place myself is family orientated. And Toulouse was that for us. And yeah, just getting there, I landed the Tuesday, and I played my first top 14 game the Saturday. I didn't know French. I didn't know what's a left. I didn't know what's a right. Didn't know how to ask for the ball. Yes. And the coach just told me just go out on the field and play. And
Fun, yeah.
that's what I did. Ended up playing really well on the first game, and then just continued to learn from the players and the coaches through that way. And then my second year, of the first year went really well. Then the start of the second season, played the first game against Lyon. I'll never ever forget it. It was a away game, and we came back the Saturday night. Monday morning, walked into the meeting, and I just saw the coaches looked at me. It just felt, when you walk into a room and it feels different,
Something's
feels uncomfortable. And Coach Williams of what still came to me. He was a scrum coach then, and he sat next to me. He's like, "So now you can bring me some biltong." Yeah, and I looked at this guy. Yes, it's only the start of the season. I'm not going home anytime soon. Anyway, it didn't carry on. The head coach walked in, and he just looked at me and just shook his head. I was like, and Reinhard was next to me, and I was like, "Yes, my brother, ek iets verkeerd gedoen. Wat gaan aan?"
I'm going home. What is this?
And I say, "Yeah, my brother, ek weet toekie." And anyway, the meeting went on, and then they asked me to stay behind. And the coach was like, "You're leaving on Thursday to join up with the Springbok team." And I was like, "Listen, please don't mess around with me now because I haven't spoken. My agent hasn't spoken to me. Coach Rassi hasn't spoken to me. I haven't had a message or anything from Chala as well."
Yes.
So I was like, "No, man, this can't be true." Anyway, he's like, "No, you're leaving on Thursday. Your visa, everything has been sorted out." Yes, I was excited. I took my phone out first thing, called the wife and my dad and saying, "Listen, got opportunity to join up with the boys in Brisbane. Looking forward to it. But I'm leaving on Thursday. Obviously, my wife was a bit thrown under because she had the baby.
By herself
But obviously
now.
excited for me as well because it's what I've been waiting for and wanted all the time. Like when I left South Africa, I never gave up on the dream. I always wanted to represent the Springboks and hopefully there's opportunity. But that time they had the rule you had to have 30 caps or more. So yeah, and you're based overseas, you can be called back. Obviously I didn't have a cap at all, so the chances of me getting called back was small. And when Coach Jock and Rassi took over, they scrapped the rule because most of the guys were at the time playing overseas. And then, landed in Australia the Sunday. I got there before the whole team. I took my bags up and everything chilled. Came down because my bags were locked with cable ties. I went down to reception, asked for a scissor.
Drama.
Funny enough, the team got there also. I didn't know. And Coach Rassi and Sia had a meeting. And I was like, okay, standing and waiting for scissor. And Coach Rassi came to me. He's like, welcome. Good to have you here. And he asked me, how's the body? And I was like, no, I'm good. I'm fit and just really excited to be here and learn. And he's like, if there's nothing wrong with the body, then you're on the bench for the weekend.
Yes.
What?
Deep sea.
Staan ek hier? Ek soos, yes, wat gaan hier aan? And I called Sia the first thing. I was like, bruh, do you guys not have one-on-ones like it used to be?
Yes.
And he's like, no, my bro. Yeah, you find out either the Monday or the Tuesday on the projector and the names of the squad will be there. And that's how it is. They don't believe on one-on-ones because he wants to have that honest and open relationship with all the players.
And Chessie, are you a crier? You look like a crier.
Yes, I get geil.
Okay. I was just about to say, I could see it.
I'm proud to say I cried because, yes, as a young kid growing up, that's one thing you want to achieve and wear. It's that green and gold jersey because you obviously look up to so many heroes that's done it in the past and you're hoping to want just an opportunity to showcase what you can do. And ek het gehuil.
And was that jersey, was it on the bed when you got it the first time? Did you sleep in the jersey? Did you sleep in it? Yes, class.
Nah, I had to.
Special moments, yeah.
It's brilliant.
And heroes, who was your heroes actually growing up? You spoke about now, growing up and was it Kraaifontein? Kraaifontein.
Yes, like it's actually funny and like Coach Rassi also spoke about it a few weeks ago, or actually when we played the All Blacks in Cape Town, because we all know Cape Town has a lot of All Black supporters. And for me, growing up in Scottsville, in Kraaifontein, majority of the people were All Black supporters. And they would only watch the All Blacks most of the time. So for me, growing up, obviously the brand of rugby they were playing back then, you're obviously interested in because it was exciting. But I was always a Springbok. I always just wanted to wear that green and gold jersey. My heroes back then, Christian Cullen.
Oh.
Not the biggest.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Zet 'n swoof.
Yeah. Don't know how he does it. And then a guy, Joe Aplon, which is still my all-time favorite.
OG Power Ranger.
Growing up watching him play Western Province, was actually Marty's first. Western Province Stormers, and then obviously Springboks as well. And as I got through the system at under 16, stayed in Western Province system, I got the opportunity to play with him. But even prior to that, he would still like advise me and guide me, like what you can expect being small, the negativity that comes with it, the criticism you might get missing a tackle or doing something wrong by people telling you, I told you he can't do it. And I faced that exact words that he told me. I faced that almost every weekend. So he was a big motivation to me, a guy that channeled me into like the right path and ways. And up until today, he'll still message me every now and then before games. Getting to see him now at SAS, it's so good because it's someone I looked up to and a guy with a lot of experience that can still give back to me in developing me to be even better.
And partner, looking at Cheslin Kolbe right now, you've won back-to-back Rugby World Cups. You guys have pretty much won a lot of things. How does Cheslin Kolbe deal with, because now there's a level of expectation that comes with being Cheslin Kolbe and the Springboks. How do you handle that expectation, and how do you deal with, because the rugby you guys are playing is phenomenal after, and I might be wrong, Ruckus, but I think I'm completely right. I believe you guys are getting better.
Now we are
individually as well, and as a team. Like, how do you guys handle that expectation that comes with 2 World Cups?
Now we are getting better, and we are developing as well, as a team, and we've been on a good roll for the past few years, and just growing from that. It comes with a lot of expectation. Obviously, people out there, especially the public, wants to see the best all the time. And as a rugby player, as a professional athlete, that is your job. You need to go out there and perform week in and week out, and you need to be better and better all the time. But at times it doesn't work out. Sometimes it just doesn't go according to plan, and you just have to find a solution and just manage what you can manage at the end of the day, because you can't look after everything. You have guys around you that makes it a bit easier, makes your job easier. And you need to rely on that, because it's not an individual sport, it's a team sport. You need each other to, not just for you to do better, but for the team to be better. Once the team does better, you as an individual stand out as well. But obviously you also need to bring your 20% to the team of whatever your X factor is.
That circus trick we spoke about.
Circus trick, yeah.
Circus
And he's got a lot of time. He's got a lot of circus tricks. As hooker, as scrum half, is
Lucky packets, man. Lucky packets.
Dynamite small
Yes,
packets.
servant. A pakkie servant. Do you know a pakkie servant? Okay. But partner, what always stands out for me about Cheslin, and the circus act is phenomenal. But for me, it's the lost causes. When he makes a tackle, the return to action from the tackle, from the ground to get back into play. And sometimes, Ruckers, when we're out there and we're watching this interview and watching rugby, look out for those stuff also.
Yes. The charge down of Ramos.
The charge down of Ramos.
The chase where James Lowe threw a ball in, try after, those type of things.
So, and how do you still do that stuff, Jesse? Like, continuously working the smallest little unselfish act, and and sometimes it's a boring stuff.
Even he's getting older as well, but he still keeps on doing it.
Don't name it like old, okay?
Young man,
So young.
Nah, I think whatever it takes just to give back to the team, because at the end of the day, the team is the core of what your future might look like, and what the other opportunities can come from that as well. So, and for me, and what Coach Ras also said in the quarterfinal when we played the French guys in France, is not to have any regrets. And that's what I love, is not having any regrets. Whenever there's opportunity given to me, you do the best. And if you've done that, yes, tough luck if it didn't work. But if it worked out, it's a good feeling. But like for me, and that's like the thing about rugby, everybody sees the good things, but there's so much, like, if you call it dirty work, a lot of guys does, but they don't get recognized. They don't get the moments to
recognition. I think that is the right
That's
English
the right
Look
word.
at me being good at English. Yes, see. Recognition. I'm going to put that in my diary.
No, but just to do the small things and do the small things well, and just put in the extra effort at the end of the day for the team, whether it's chasing lost causes, going up for high balls, the charge down. Like, everybody gives me the credit. Yes, I've known Thomas for 4 or 5 years, but prior to that, there's been so much work from the analyzing guys, sending us clips, what his actions are, what his times and seconds are before he approaches. So, like, for me, it's not taking all the credit. The credit is...
It's a team effort. It's a squad effort at the end of the day. And Cheslin Kolbe's future, how does it look like? Obviously, after it's Springboks now, is it World Cup? Is it what's happening in Japan? And this life after rugby, like, do you retire at 40, like the old boys go? Till the wheels came off?
That's the new 30.
Yes, 40, easy.
If you look after your body, and he does.
I think being in Japan helps a bit.
Of course.
Okay. It's not as physical as the top 14 or the URC even now. It's 10, 11 months of rugby that they're playing. Whereas Japan is 5, 6 months. don't get me wrong, it's competitive, it is physical, and it's a lot more running than top 14 URC, any other competition. God willing, another World Cup.
Yes.
If I'm good enough,
Back to back.
if I still have a good influence for the team,
Valuable,
valuable in the way I perform. Because at the end of the day, is if you still on par with the rest of the guys, that's obviously coming up. So for me, hopefully, another World Cup 2027 will be nice. But that's 4 years from now. That's not in my sight. It's about just staying in the moment. And for me, obviously now the end of year two, and then hopefully going back to my club, and then just playing the best rugby that I can. Then all the other things from there will take care of itself. Life after rugby, Juba.
Yeah, what's
Hy
going
is
on?
tough.
Huh?
Daar is 'n vraag wat jy my elke dag vra.
As he likes his cars and stuff, he might Fast and the Furious Part 11. Huh? You never know.
Take him on by polo ruckers.
I'm a car guy, but that's not the best way to invest your money.
Okay, he's learned.
Nothing wrong.
I've learned my lesson at a young age.
Yeah.
But I must say, rugby's given me this opportunity to meet so many people. People in high positions, CEOs of companies. I've been in circles with people that are quite influential, and just learning from them, gaining experience. I can't say exactly what I'm going to be doing after rugby because honestly, I don't know. But what I do love is I love property. I love houses. I love managing, whether it's business, whether it's athletes. Like marketing is also something I'll look into. Everybody asks me if I'll get into coaching.
You gotta leave something.
Jy's meer weg van die huis ook af.
Boykie, you great.
But I would love to do it, but at a junior level.
Yeah, come help me there by Boland 21, okay?
Seatbelt.
Stepping in.
Seatbelt, ruckers. Seatbelt.
I need a split
Seatbelt. Jessie,
Hou hy ding in die pipeline vir my.
and the foundation.
Yeah, the Kolbe Foundation.
The
yeah.
Kolbe
That's-
Foundation.
yeah, the
Talk us through that, please, Boykie.
Yeah, the foundation is obviously a massive focus for us now because we got this platform now that we need to use. A lot of players tend to use it once they're done with rugby when they have more time, which is probably makes more sense. But I think once you have the platform now and you're still playing, then you need to use it. It's tough to manage it while you're playing because you're busy, you're away from home. But with my wife and the team we have, they're unbelievable. And our main focus is education, sport development, and then underprivileged communities is to go out there because even where I come from, where you come from, there's probably better rugby players than us, but just a lack of opportunities or exposure that they haven't gotten. And that's where we want to fulfill that role from a sporting point of view. From an education point of view actually before education, food supplementary is a big part of it. Because before you can think, you need to have something in your stomach. And that's a big focus for us is food supplementary and then education to put kids in school because most of the kids nowadays, 3, 4, 5, don't even go to school anymore because it's either the parents are abused to drugs, gangsterism, jobless, so they don't have that source of income or that platform to look after the kid or send the kids to school. And that's where we want to fulfill those roles is by going back into communities. And for me, obviously, I need to start where I come from, where my wife comes from, and it starts there, and that's how we can broaden out. But I must say, from the launch of the foundation, we didn't know how it was going to take off. And just by the way it went, the people that's gotten involved has been unbelievable. And we obviously still, where are we now? 3-4 months into the foundation. We're obviously learning. And obviously with Sia launching, he's just after 2019, has a lot of experience and he's actually been the one also for us to keep pushing to get the foundation up and running. So we're obviously learning a lot through the Kolbe Foundation in how to do things, what we should look out for. And then with the team we currently have from one of my big sponsors at Investec that's been from word go, helping us, looking at certain things and things not to do and be aware of. Because obviously we knew we need to learn, we need to go out there.
Yeah.
It's
No,
tough.
graag,
Everybody thinks it's nice to have a foundation. Yes, it is, but it's a lot of hard work.
And you're so busy. Who's control is? So wife is obviously doing a lot
My
of
wife is
Yeah.
mostly in control, doing meetings. I'll obviously, whenever I have time off, I get more involved and give back in that way. But most of the time was my wife and the rest of the team.
No, we'll go places. Yeah, no, it's a good cause, and I mean, it's especially where you come from, what you've seen. It's always important to give back and inspire the youngsters and get the new.
Yeah, I actually want to make a comment when he said opportunities and what you're doing and see us with fantastic, because we need to create fair opportunities. For the underprivileged and guys, a fair opportunity is the most, or that's in my point of view. I don't know how you two feel. Creating a fair opportunity so that kid can flourish wherever he goes in life.
Yeah. So with the foundation as well. Say for example, the sporting, if you want to put it in the education point, is like going to the underprivileged communities and linking them up with a brother school. Say for example, taking Scottsville, where I'm from, using the high school there, and link them up with whoever you want to name, Bishops, Rondebosch, whatever it is, Paul Roos, Paul Jim, and link them up with that school so that those kids in Paul Jim can see what these kids are going through on a daily basis, what their struggle is, and so the same for them. They can see what they have, what facilities they have, and just see the difference.
Yeah,
and
the lights go on.
Just like there is belief, there is that hunger, wanting to hopefully be there one day. And as you said, it's just giving fair opportunities, because that's all someone wants is opportunity, and what he does with it,
up to him.
that's up to him. But I believe each and everyone deserves a fair opportunity, because you can either make something out of it or yeah.
And what small message do you have for that guys that's obviously you didn't get a lot of opportunities? What small message do you have for those youngsters that's sitting right there, sitting without, they don't have the boots and stuff, they don't have the opportunity? What message do you have for what you felt throughout your journey?
I think as the thing is, people can become negative quite easily because they feel like nobody cares about them. There's no eyes in the communities from people. Say for example, if it's rugby, like scouts going out to the schools and watching them, or seeing that they have the potential to be something great one day. For me, is just to remain positive, believe in yourself, and just never give up. And it's a cliche, like only hard work determines what your future will look like. And like, how can I say, like, for example, my parents didn't have all the opportunities. I have this opportunity today through what they've done for me, sacrificing. And for youngsters out there, is like, you can easily fall into the trap of taking the easy route, just following your friends, partying. If you take away that time and you know exactly what you want to do one day, what you want to become, then you can work towards that. You're willing to do whatever it takes. And at the end of the day, it's hard work, it's sacrifice, it's belief, and it's just having faith as well. Because that's a big part. If you don't have that, then whatever you think, whatever ideas you have in your head, it's not going to matter.
Yeah, hard work beats talent if talent doesn't work hard enough. And I mean, like you've seen it all. You've went overseas and you achieved a lot of things, but it's also good to reach back and get the new Kolbes coming through. And new
it's
faces.
the one you always use it a lot. And I laughed in the beginning, Chessy. And
First they laughed, then they follow.
And once I thought I drove home, and what you said made so much sense. And I think it's got a relation what you are doing with the foundation. It's lighting candles.
Yeah. It's lighting candles, because you don't lose light when you light another
Ik heb
candle.
altijd gezegd, draai net een vlammetje elke nacht.
Wat is oud ding?
Ja, pikjes op een zin.
En dan jij draai hem heeltemal op
Sorry,
dan.
dit learn.
I'm also tucking in and I'm trying to light the candle, okay?
That's exciting stuff. But before we say goodbye, we got to challenge him a little bit.
Yeah,
Right?
we need to have, the show is about fun,
yes,
Chessy.
about
Fun and putting you on the spot. So take a bit of water. It's gonna get hot.
It's got a super
It's
hot.
gonna get hot now.
So we're going to play a game with you. It's called a Behind the Ruck dealership, okay?
Yes.
All it is we we call a car, and you've got to connect a teammate,
Any player.
with that car.
With a car.
So we got to test that medulla oblongata a little bit. I'm going to start it off, okay?
Okay.
Let's start with a Hilux bakkie.
Kwagga Smith.
Huh? Kwagga Smith.
Ooh, reliable.
That's actually-
Ever ready. Legend.
And that's actually quick, yeah. That
Yeah.
makes sense, yeah.
Definitely. Am I up next?
Yeah, you're up
okay.
next. You-
A stretched limousine. A limousine.
Ik zal voor Gaza aandrukken.
For Gaza.
Ja.
I thought he was going to go with a lock, but okay, you throw Gaza in there.
Gaza limousine. Okay.
And testing with something new, a Datsun bakkie. Okay, now we
Who reminds you of a Datsun bakkie?
It doesn't get out of the blocks.
Hij is reliable. Yes, there's no tricky in, yeah.
Tricky one.
Yo, that's een bakkie. Ga ik zeggen.
Herschel, it has to be.
Herschel, nee.
Datsunkie. Huisvriend Datsun.
Herschel of Grant.
Oeh.
Ja, maar Grant is spoed, nee. Yes.
Ja, wat
Oh,
ja,
ik moet een beetje jou.
And that's actually the next one.
Oeh.
Nissan Skyline. Nissan Skyline. Anyone wat jy mee gespeel het, boykie. Who would remind you of a Nissan
I think
Skyline?
growing up, yes, Need for Speed, allerlei dingen. Fast and the Furious, 34, GTR. So probably every kid's dream car to have. Bij een spoedgewijs zal ik zeggen Grant.
Granty.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Easy, yeah. And the next one, it's a different one. We'll spice it up a little bit. A quantum taxi.
Who's putting everyone in the back and dragging them with them?
It's got that size for it.
You know, actually, who reminds me of a
Yes,
Quantum
see.
Taxi? Reinhard Elstad. He looks like someone who put the team on his back and I'm
and
going
I
forward.
gooi
I'm
down.
bumping everyone out of my way. Reinhard, that's it. Well done, Pete.
Is je Reinhard? Nee, hij heeft de punt aan, hè.
Rough, rugged,
rough,
gets
hey,
the
worry
job
next.
done.
Yeah.
I need to get my next drop
Guys,
off.
I'll
where do
go
you
with
wanna go?
Reinhard. I'll go with Reinhard, actually.
Okay.
I've got one.
Let's go. Yeah, two more.
Fiat Uno. Die bakskit.
Yes, hij is los. Hij is tegen elkaar. Fiat Uno.
Who would you have as a Fiat Uno?
That's an interesting one. I'll put you.
Aman. What? Apples.
Yeah, did you think you?
Yeah, I could see your eyes coming at me.
Yes.
Damn it.
Jaden? Nou, maar is hij? Hij is... ja, hij is on point.
Is he on point?
Oh, wat pikkie.
It might be one of my heroes growing up that I would say is a Fiat. And I hope he's not angry when he watches
Yes.
the episode. Paula Conradi.
Hey.
The Rock.
Johannes
The Rock.
Conradi.
Johannes.
The Rock.
Yeah, everybody wanted a Fiat Uno back in the days.
Actually.
That was my hero. I wanted to see
Good
Paula
contender
Conradi
there,
play.
yeah.
100%, yeah. Let me test him with one more. Okay, this one is a bit different. Let's look at the future. Okay, let's look at the future stylish type of guy. The Tesla. Who will be the new Tesla? Someone for the future that's stylish.
This one is Sasha.
Brilliant. Great
Yeah,
minds think alike.
I would say the same.
Sasha. 100%.
Stylish, fast.
This is not part of the questions. What car would you be if you were a car? If you have to put yourself, I know you love your cars and that's the thing. What car would Cheslin Kolbe be?
If I could get a car, would be Mercedes GTR.
Mercedes
Damn it.
GTR. Not the Mercedes Formula One Lewis Hamilton.
Nah, I'm not.
That fast.
That's too quick for me.
And do you have any?
Nog kennis bij de
Did you do any racing course, driving lessons?
Yeah, I used to do racing at Killarney.
Just see.
Yeah, just after school when I had my license. So I'm into cars. A lot of my friends actually own a workshop that I still have a car at that I use and race every now and then, but legal.
Yes,
Yes, I need to get that out there.
yes,
Yes,
legal. Okay, and can you donut cup?
I can get, yes. There was a video on TikTok so a few
Is it?
months or a year ago maybe. I went to Killarney or so, did a few donuts.
Damn.
Please send me that video. I want to see that video.
I can't see you doing the donuts.
That was a nut pitch, man.
I can't do see him.
Zeker,
Man, this guy drives 100 in the fast lane.
Huh? The donut.
100 in the fast lane. He's one of those guys in Cape Town next to me.
That's why we have the new minister, Gaten McKenzie. Spinning is going to become legal. Hopefully I'm in the mix there somewhere.
Okay. Remember, just say Juan is also in the mix. Yo, Cheslin, thank you very much for making the time. And I know you're a busy lad, obviously prepping for for when it comes to the end of your tour. Thank you for making the time. Thank you for being the inspiration. You for South Africa point of view on and off the field, and just all the best with the journey. And look after the body. I mean, it's week in and week out, but it's important also to look after the body, look after the family, wife Layla, and all the kids, and enjoy the off time when there's off time.
Yeah, and thanks for trend setting, Boykie. I think that is the one that always stands out to me. Trend setter. You're honestly a trend setter, and we spoke about this in other episodes. Is our kids and people have got people to look up to, and I think that is important. It's important to have role models, ambassadors that carries the country well, that carries themselves really well, and that for me is really important. And thanks for that, Boykie. Really appreciate it.
To latch on to that, actually, like in our communities we come from, like that's the lack. There's no role models, there's no heroes those kids can look up to, and we've given this opportunity to fulfill that. So now, thank you so much for having me as well. I've seen the amazing work. I finally made the cut to come on, guys.
Episode 2. We wanted him episode 2.
Cheslin Kolbe said you guys must like and subscribe. Come on.
Yeah, you must like and subscribe.
Nah, thank you, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, well done to you guys as well for what you've done and for growing so quick. I don't know if you guys also expected it to take off this so quick.
Yeah. Oh. Carry on.
Ja, nee, ik krijg hem ook aan elkaar, man. Ik sta nog steeds al voor in de foto's.
Yes, that's not lekker. Oh, yeah, I used to hate that.
You already know.
Yep, it's like a class photo at school.
Thanks, Jesse. Thanks for the time. I really appreciate it. Hey, guys, Cheslin Kolbe.
Come on.
Partner, that was more fun time, eh? What a legend, what a superstar. And we spoke about it. What a journey he's had. The challenges.
And partner, just to have him in his comfort zone where he was relaxed with us, that for me was honestly some of the nicest parts talking to him.
He's chirping us as well about height and stuff. Eh? Talking to you about step. You got a step 1, 2 step.
Partner. Nope. I didn't get it. Ruckus said, but I didn't get it.
But fantastic to catch up with him. I mean, incredible career. And he's still young. He's still young.
Really young.
A double Rugby World Cup winner. Hey, at that age.
No, we were in the thing of greatness, partner, and I'm not taking it lightly, Ruckus. I think Cheslin Kolbe in this current crop of Springboks are absolute legends, and the fact that they're still so humble and knowing that there's more out there makes them even more greater than what they are. But we've been privileged and we were blessed with that conversation.
Yes, 100%. And all the best for the upcoming test matches, Cheslin. Okay, trap, and then we skive again after that. Yeah, but yeah.
And partner, for guys, Ruckus, if this was your first episode that you watched of Behind the Ruck, please make sure that you scroll through our YouTube channel. There is fun, brilliant, fantastic conversations we've had with numerous amount of rugby stars in the world. The Siya Kolisi's, the Manie Leboks, the Quade Coopers, Georgie Griggins. I can list the whole list of players we've had on. So go through our YouTube channel and go watch some of the old conversations because the conversations is still relevant. Doesn't matter what time of the year or day that you'll be watching them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But let's move on. Past weekend, obviously, URC segment was crucial. We 2 out of 2. Unlucky for the Lions and the Stormers, and the Bulls and the Sharks do the thing. But yeah, a lot of injuries when it came from the cracker for weekend.
Partner, probably 2 that stands out to me. The 2 that stands out is we lost Frans Malherbe and we lost Damian Willemse in the Stormers game. That is 2 big losses for Springbok rugby. Looking in 2 weeks from now, we're playing Scotland. Would have loved to see Gaza back in the box mix, but it looked like he tore or hurt his groin area.
Especially 2 of them, they just came from injury as well. We got Jan Hendrik Wessels that's also injured recently. So a couple of injuries. So Rassie, we got to fit a couple of things. He's got to move the puzzle a bit. And he moved the puzzle with Hanna Kom.
Yes,
he told Hanna to come. Okay.
Hanna was coming and Hanna is there.
He's in the mix, man.
Kemi Hanna, congratulations. You deserve this thoroughly, Boykie. We've been raving the 2 of us, Ruckus, about Kemi Hanna and it's an opportunity for him to learn, to be a sponge, to be in that world-class environment like Cheslin just said now. You want to be in that environment. You miss it when you're not there. He deserves it thoroughly. Last URC, he was excellent before he got injured.
He's excellent this season as well.
Again.
Making big impacts.
So we're looking forward to seeing Cameron Hanna come. Hopefully, Ruckus, he'll become a Bok, and hopefully, Ruckus, he'll become a guest on the number 1 rugby podcast.
Yes. And that's URC taking a little bit of a break, and then we move into international rugby. Okay. We've got a massive one coming up. Okay. It's England versus New Zealand, and we got Scotland versus Fiji. 2 big ones. That first one is looking at that first one, especially, let's take the All Blacks into consideration. They obviously the big win against Japan last weekend. They tested a couple of new guys in that. Ruben Love. Remember that name. There's something about that kid that's going to come through in the next couple of seasons. But that's 2 games we have to look out for, and it's 2 crackers of a games.
Partner, they've obviously sent, I think, 15 or 12 players to England before the Japan game.
Oh,
That will probably be mostly the starters for this upcoming test.
They've been smart.
Look, I think this is going to be an interesting one, Boyki. England lost narrowly against the All Blacks earlier in the year, but now they're playing at home. It's going to be swing low, swing chariot. So there's going to be a different vibe to this game, but I think it's going to be an absolutely brutal contest. And I'm going to tip the All Blacks to get this one. I really...
Are they bowling? Like Gio said, it's slowly, they've got something cooking up.
Look, for me, even though the Boxers had the number over the All Blacks the recent past, for me, the All Blacks are still the All Blacks.
Yeah.
It's still a team that played in the Rugby World Cup final a year ago. They're still a team with phenomenal players. Current World Rugby Player of the Year, Adi Sevilla. They still have brilliant rugby players. So I'm going to go for the All Blacks in this one, but I think it's going to be it's
going to be a cracker of a game. Because I was looking at last weekend's game, the first 20 minutes, Japan put a lot of pressure onto them. It's like 7 or 10-0 at that first 10, 15 minutes. So they're a slow starting team, and we know they've struggled also in the last 20 minutes. And England is also cooking up something with the guys in there. Obviously, they've got a lot of changes as well. But that's one game we must look out for. And also the other game, Scotland, because we got them
Yes, we're definitely going to watch that
next.
one.
Yes.
We have to. And I know Dr. Rasi will be recording that thing 3 times. So we're going to watch it over and over to make sure that we know what's coming next Sunday. Bagpipes and the singing.
Yes.
But the Flying Fijians, that's a tricky one.
That's also a tricky one. The drawers, they can draw a thing out. Eh?
That's going to be a tricky one. And they will be bruised and hurt. So I wonder if Gregory Townsend will play his stronger side or will be resting the captain, the Duan van der Merwes, a lot of the boys who travelled from Cape Town back to Scotland. So we'll have to see. But interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Exciting times. Yeah, can't wait.
Guys, Behind the Ruck, as we know, is proudly supported by SuperSport Bet, and one of our proud sponsors currently that came on board, Ticket Pro, for all your ticket needs, concerts, rugby games, whatever you think, go to it. I want to encourage you guys to go download the SuperSport Bet app and do your picks and make sure you do your bets, whatever you guys think. If you think you know what you're talking about, go make it on the SuperSport Bet app. Poiki, fantastic episode.
Chicken wrap, yeah. And before we chicken wrap this thing up, okay, it's like share and subscribe time. Do your thing, man. Please. There's a subscribe button. Do your thing, okay?
But there's also a notification button, a bell. Click the bell. Click the bell. You get all the notifications on all of our content.
And the old episodes as well. There's so much they can learn. Hey? But take the time and make the time. It's not about having time, it's about making time. So make the time for Behind the Ruck.
Exactly. Ruckers, we'll see you next week.
Let's go. I'm Juan de Jong.
I'm Rudy Page.
And the Ruck is clear. Bye-bye.